Hey, what is up, guys? Zero Select here, bringing you today a Pokemon Showdown post-narrated battle that I had like a day ago or so. As you can see, I have a brand new UE team. I've been playing around with it, mostly just to play around with Salamence, because I get the feeling that it's probably gonna get banned because it's kind of broken. So instead of slap him on his team, it's kind of a weird, really weirdly built team. It's more like kind of like bulky offense, kinda. But I don't know. It's pretty cool. Let me just make a really quick run through the team. I'm the guy in the back, by the way. The guy Poopy Swoop. That's me. So quick run through. I'm running a Cobalion, a kind of like bulky. It's a really weird set. He has like not max HP. Pretty close to max HP. Heavy speed investment with the rest in attack, with Volt Switch, Stealth Rocks, Sacred Sword, and Iron Head. And he's basically there just to provide rocks and you know, just work as a good pivot, you know, switching due to his typing. He can switch into you know, a pretty decent amount of Pokemon in the tier, and then just Volt Switch out or set up rocks and things like that. He's pretty good at the job I gave him. So up next, the Mixmans, because I freaking love Mixmans. I would go and play, with the Dragon Dance set, but that's kind of douchey. And, Mixman's kind of just throws everything else that DD Mans can't. So, that's the thing. Although he gets walled hard by Florges and Aromatisse. Gets walled hard, but that's what the rest of the team is for. I'm running the Physical Defensive Mega Blossos, because Cloyster also dropped down with Salamence, and, that is a massive threat, so... I have two separate counters for Cloyster depending on the set that he's running. If he's running mixed set, then Mega Blossom is the number one counter set. Other than that, Cobalion also takes care of it pretty well. So that's that. Pretty standard moveset on the Blossoms: Rapid Spin, Scald, Dark Pulse, and R Spear, so I can hit basically everything in the tier for at least neutral damage. So that's pretty cool. And I really like Mega Blossom. I can't understand why he's the number one used Pokemon in UU right now. He's just really good. So next is a Physical Offensive Xatu. I've never actually played with Xatu, so it's like a first for me, and I like it. I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. I have no complaints about it. Up next is a Show Scarfed Rotom Heat that I ended up replacing. It was a Reuniclus at one point. I replaced it with this thing because I had a huge weakness to Galvantula. Believe it or not. And by that I mean, like, I had nothing to, switch into it safely. And nothing to outspeed it, even. The only thing that I had to take hits from was Aromatisse. And speaking of Aromatisse, that is the last member of my team. Would be running Florges, but I kind of like Aromatisse better for, general... Basically, it does the same role as Florges, only with less special defense, but much higher HP. So therefore, I can pass bigger witches over to things like Salamence, which is Life Orb, so being able to pass huge wishes there, getting back up to full health is always nice. I think with Mega Blastoise, because he has no form of recovery outside of rest, so that's pretty cool. And my opponent, on the other hand, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm not gonna bother, but he's running a team of nothing but fucking threats. Fucking Crawdaunt, Tornadus-T, which is the bane of my existence. I cannot win a game whenever Tornadus-T is present. Holy shit, that thing. I think he might be broken. Clear. I seriously cannot win any match with Tornadus-T present. It's pretty ridiculous. I can't play around it very well because Regenerator. So you can wear him down to a point. You can't really wear him down to a point where you can easily revenge kill him because he can just switch out. So that's a huge problem. Halucha's another huge threat because once he gets the Unburden boost, nothing on my team outspeeds it, and nothing on my team wants to switch in. It's fucking ridiculous. Magnezone is another huge threat as well. Though I do have the Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat really can't take too many hits from Magnezone because Modest, Specs, and the Analytic, which I forgot was a thing. So it reminded me that Analytic is actually really common now, and yeah, that thing does way over 50% to Rotom Heat with a Volt Switch. Fuck you, Magnezone. Then in the last slot, he has a Mega Houndoom, which is another massive threat, but I do have a really good check for that. Swampert. I don't even care about Swampert. I got ways to deal with it. But I've been talking for like almost 5 minutes now, so let's begin the battle now. He's gonna lead off straight off with the Crawdaunt. Big ass threat right off the bat. I decided to lead a Rotom Heat because his Scarfs, I outspeed everything he has on his team. But it's poor lead for me because he decides to do it with Crawdaunt. I end up switching out because I don't want to take a Aqua Jet, but he takes his stance to Dragon Ass. If I had seen that coming, I would have definitely gone for the trick and just crippled this Crawdon for the rest of the match. I'm going to Kaboom Man because he does have pretty decent physical defense, and I do take that Crab Hammer pretty nicely. But I failed the Oko with Sacred Sword, and that is really disappointing. Here I'm going to switch out into the Turtle Wax. That's right, so I can take the next Crab Hammer. And I do take it pretty well. I mean, it's a +1 Crab Hammer. Not bad. I'm going to Mega Evolve here so I can take the next hit even better, but he goes for the knockoff. It does way more damage. But I do manage to take him out with Scald. I went for Scald over anything else because, I mean, I would have killed the Crawdon, and in case he wanted to be geeky and switching to anything else, I would be able to hit him for neutral damage. With the Magnezone, he's going to scare me out with the Specs Volt Switch. And I'm going to go out into, of course, Rotom Heat because it's the only thing to have that resist. And let me tell you, he does not appreciate that. He does not appreciate the hit at all. Holy shit, 54%. That is way too much damage. Then again, I am running an offensive one, but it's gonna go to this Swampert. Here I had a couple options. I could even go for the HP Grass and not kill, or just go for the trick and cripple the Swampert. But you know, Swampert really isn't a threat to me, so I'm just gonna go and get a nice damage off. And yeah, now here I believe I'm gonna predict him to switch out into basically anything. So I'm gonna go to Cersei because Cersei kind of deals with everything on his team. I was kind of expecting him to go into Magnezone, but he actually ends up going to his Houndoom. So I'm like, okay, that it works as well because I have an Earthquake for this fucker, and she's being afflicted with the Houndoom. So I have to deal with that thing anymore for the rest of the match. I mean, I wasn't really too worried about it because, of course, the Rotom-T checks it really well because it's really bulky. But now he's gonna go to this Tornadus-T, and we're like, well, fuck. I don't want to stay in. I don't want to take a knockoff. I don't want to take anything that someone wants to do. So I'm gonna go to Boom Man as a Death Water because look at this team. He really won't be doing too much. But oh wait, no, not as a Death Water. I'd switch him in to take the knockoff, and then I'm gonna switch out into Tomahawk Man to take the incoming superpower that I knew was coming, because I knew Cobalion might come in handy for the Magnezone, for the Swampert even. But actually, no, I wanted to save it instead of my rock. That's what I wanted for. Yeah, whatever. He's gonna switch out here instead of going for the U-turn or something, or knockoff even, because I guess he knew he wouldn't really do too much to Tomahawk Man. And I'm gonna predict him to go out to anything but the Magnezone and go for Toxic. And if he decided to stay in and go for the knockoff, well, I would have got the Toxic off on the Tornadus. That would have been fantastic. It comes to Hawlucha, and he's gonna set up a Swords Dance. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, this thing's about to sweep me. But the good thing is I do have the Toxic off on it, so if I can play my cards right, I could prevent myself from getting swept. I'm gonna leave Tomahawk Man as Death Water because he's practically useless at this point. I really don't need him for much. I mean, he got the Toxic off on the Hawlucha, which is all I needed. Now I'm gonna go into a Aromatisse, so I could go for the Protect and rack up the Toxic damage on the this guy, the Hawlucha, if he goes for the Acrobatics. Now the next turn, I'm gonna end up fighting my Mega Blasters, I believe. I mean, he's not gonna be doing much. Pretty low amount of health, and I won't be able to pass a Wish off later. Because I mean, the last two things that really threatened me are the Tornadus-T and the Magnezone, so really won't be able to do much about that. So unfortunately, Tornadus is gonna go down, but so is Hawlucha. So that is great. Now I got two threats to deal with, and I have no idea how the hell this is gonna turn out because I'm fucking scared. I'm gonna go to EC Bake because I'm Scarfed, and I could just trick whatever comes in, and it turns out to be the Tornadus-T. I'm gonna end up going for the trick here. Could be a good play, could be a bad play, I don't know. And it turned out to be a good play because he goes for the superpower here. He crits me, it doesn't really matter. I would have OK'd me easily because I'm not defensive in any way, shape, or form. And that is great because now that he's locked into that, I can go into Churchy, which is my Mixed Man, and fire off a Draco Meteor and basically annihilate anything that wants to switch in. And it's going to be the Swampert. So the Swampert's going to take a Draco Meteor and it's going to end up dying. So that's great. But now he can go back on to his Tornadus and threaten me out with basically anything he has. I'm going to end up foddering Cobalion, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna end up sacking Cobalion at this point. That's really not that useful. Oh wait, no, I got into aromatase. Why? But whatever, he goes for superpower. I guess expecting me to go to Cobalion, but oh yeah, I don't know why I switched to aromatase. I just thought it would be better that way. As I just end up doing that. So I'm gonna switch out here, predicting him to switch out to Magnezone. And I'm gonna go into Cobalion, which looking back was kind of a stupid play. Because I was under the impression that a Sacred Sword would take out the Magnezone, but I kind of forgot I had like next to 0 attack investment. And Magnezone actually has some really decent special defense, physical defense. So I do deal a pretty decent amount. But yeah, he just takes me out with the Sacred Sword. I mean, with the Volt Switch, and he's gonna go out into the Tornadus-T. Now I'm kind of scared here at this point because it's very clear that I lost this match. But what I'm just gonna go into Aromatisse because I know he could take a couple of hits from Tornadus-T, and he decides to go for the Aerial Ace, which that was a little weird. I'll go for the Moonblast because I mean I thought he would just U-turn out and go out into his Magnezone and just win the match that way. But no, he goes for the Aerial Ace, and I can take 2 thanks to the leftovers. I'm gonna set up a Wish here. Now here, this part right here, this play right here that's about to take place. I thought about it to the point where I almost ran out of time, but there was 2 things that could happen. I could stay in, go for Protect, and get back at full health, or I could predict him to predict me to go for Protect, and switch out into Salamence, expecting him to go out into Magnezone. Now I was brooding over this decision for, like I told you, like forever, but eventually I did make the play of going on to Salamence, expecting him to switch out to Magnezone. I mean, either way, the match was gonna end here. This was the deciding turn of the match. Whether it was gonna end here, it was gonna basically decide who the winner was. So let's see what happens. Like I said, I do set up a Wish, and I do try to pass it down to my Salamence, expecting him to predict me to go for Protect, and it does end up happening that way. He goes into his Magnezone as I got into my Salamence, and that is fantastic. Because now Salamence, who was at the verge of death here at 6%, is going to go back to very near full health. 68%, not bad. And here I'm just going to fire off a Earthquake. I go for Fire Blast, that's right. It was a middle ground. If I had missed there, I would have been GG. But all that he has, I killed the Magnezone. All that he has left is the Tornadus-T. Now this play right here, I wanted to punch myself in the gut right after it happened. I was so ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god, I could actually pull this out of my ass. This would be the first one that I have recorded against another fucking Tornadus-T that I have not. Like I said, I've lost every single match against a Tornadus-T. So I'm like, yes, I can finally do this. So I'm gonna go out into Aromatisse as a Death Water. I mean, she was gonna die switching anyways, and this way I can get the Intimidate off on it, and guarantee that I could at least take 1 knockoff, and at least see what he wanted to lock himself into. Now here I make the mistake of going for Draco Meteor, thinking that it was stronger, but in reality I should have gone for the fucking Outrage. If I had gone for the Outrage, I would have won this match. But no, I'm foolishly fire off a Draco Meteor. I thought, well, he doesn't have a Salt Phase. Maybe I could take him out with a Draco Meteor. But that was not the case. I end up losing the match because of that. Oh my god, why? It was so close. Oh my god. But anyway, that was a good match. My opponent was really, like I said, really fucking scary team. And I've been messing around with this team for quite a bit. I like it. I think I'm gonna have to replace Rotom-Heat with something else. I feel that's a thing. But I do expect a session later with this same team later, assuming Salamence get banned before that happens. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I thought it was a really good match, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.